Live at Onigashima. I'm Jimmy.
And I'm Anthony, and this week we got a chapter. Finally, we're back at it. 1107. I've been looking for you, and this one was holy shit insane. I feel like we're just gonna have to, the cute cover story, we're gonna have to jump into it because this is like breaking
news. Cover story is pretty great because it's foreshadowing, or I guess pre-shadowing our video that we just released. Go check it out, Law vs. Zoro. But let's jump into the chapter. We got it starting out with Oimo and Kashi back also, not just Dory and Brogy. So I love seeing all the giants come back
yeah,
now.
They came back. The giant warrior pirates. I would love to have seen their bounties. That would have been cool.
I would love to have seen Harudegarn also. I wonder where he's at if he's not with them.
Well, he's like the new giant pirates, right?
Yeah, so why wouldn't the new giant pirates be with the current giant pirates?
I don't know. Yeah, he's probably off doing some shit. He probably wasn't on Elbaf like when they all were.
I guess not. Yeah, otherwise he would have been here, right? So I wonder what he's up to.
Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna come when like the Grand Fleet comes, but it's cool that Usopp gets to see them like straight up. He's like, holy shit!
The same thing. Like, I'm so glad Usopp got to see them first. My master.
Yeah, my masters.
Oh, I love that.
And even Nami recognized everybody, and Chopper. They were like, oh my god.
And Vegapunk's like, well, what the fuck? How do you guys know each other?
Yeah,
like,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
The Straw Hats literally just know everybody. They got connections.
They do, for real. They even gave us the little what's it called, like the recap, which is funny because that was like so long since we like knew what the connection was.
It literally 1,000 chapters ago is when we first met them.
So crazy.
But to hop also into it, next we see the continuation of Zoro versus Lucci, and honestly, my boy Zoro kind of losing some stocks here.
Dude, I wasn't gonna say it because like we just put that video out, but damn, Zoro, what the fuck?
Well, Zoro's letting me down a little bit.
But you know, look,
I will say it looks like pretty even overall. I still think Zoro's gonna win.
He looks like he's sweating, but they both look like they're sweating a little bit.
As a Zoro stan and a Zoro defender, I'm just gonna say he's probably still feeling some effects from that Grim Reaper on Wano. Like, we still don't know the effects of that, when that's gonna come into play.
Oh my god,
there's a little time.
It's been like a month.
No, bro, it's been like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It's almost a month, but who cares?
Right.
My boy Zoro needs some more rest.
Well, I do like the statement that he has. He's like, it almost sounds like you think you're in control of this fight. So maybe, you know, we haven't seen Ashura yet, or out of Zoro, right?
I mean,
haven't seen
also,
any,
we
like,
can see it
King
here.
of Hell.
He's literally fighting with 2 swords.
Yeah,
like he's not fighting at full power.
Nah, he's not full power. He's not full power. But I will say, Sanji's looking a little saucy in this chapter.
Sanji stocks are going up. Like this feat is kind of crazy. Not like he was able to outspeed Kizaru's attack, like easily light speed. Like we knew that.
Yeah. But
he's just getting into it. So I don't know if we're gonna have to change our list. Is Sanji over Zoro now? Like,
I mean, I guess I don't know, man. Like, blocking Kizaru's thing is crazy, but does it hype Sanji or does it diminish Kizaru? I don't think it diminishes Kizaru, but like that face that he makes, man, like he never made that ever against any of the other top tiers that we saw.
Not against Rayleigh, who
not
he
against
came out.
Not against Ben Beckman. You know,
not against
like
Gear 5 Luffy,
not
but against
Gear 5 Luffy, but Sanji, bro. He was like, whoa.
I think it was more so though, like, because Ben Beckman kind of expects it from these people. Well, from Sanji's like, holy shit, I thought you were way weaker than this. You're just being held down by Saturn, which then makes me think, like, what is Saturn doing to like hold people down? Dude, I mean, he's clearly not that strong. He's getting punched in the face repeatedly.
But it's like it's weird with Saturn because it's like sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So like this time, like he hit Luffy with the whatever the fuck that was, you know, like he smacked his head or whatever, but then Luffy was like, fuck you, like I'm gonna smack the shit out of you. Anyways, which crazy that Luffy just whacked that guy, sent him flying.
Yeah, with a new attack also, booming Dawn Gatling.
Yes, I like the new Dawn stuff. I think it
seems like
cool.
Dawn is his classifier in Gear 5 now. He's been using this a lot.
Yeah.
But one of the things though, we see Luffy bleeding as he charges up his attack, so he's definitely not at full strength, even though he said it last chapter. He's like, I'm at full strength. Yeah. Or this attack just is that strong that it makes him bleed. I don't know which it is.
No. Oh no, the bleeding? No. I took that as Saturn got him with his like gleam. Like it does a little like sound effect as he's like winding up. That's what I was talking about. Yeah. So like Saturn.
Oh, so he tanks Saturn's attack. So maybe he's just telekinetic, I guess.
Right. Which is what he did to like the what's it called, the Marines. He like just
blew their heads
he just blew
off,
their
yeah.
heads off with his mind, right? Like, so he tried to do that to Luffy, it looks like, and it didn't work. And then Luffy threw out the booming Don Gatling, and this guy went flying. Vegapunk.
Speaking of Luffy, though, I'm glad we get this talk between him and Bonney about like, oh my god, I've been looking for you, Nika. And Luffy's like, who the fuck is
like,
Nika?
what are you talking about?
Like, did you get hit in the head too hard? Like, I'm Luffy, bro. I'm Monkey D. Luffy, the king of the pirates.
Yeah, she's like, all right, you know, he's like, all right, well, I guess I'm Nika. He's like, he doesn't really give a shit.
And he's like, watch this. Let me show you how it's done. Which this actually like makes me think even more that Bonney might join them because she might want to learn from Luffy and how to like copy him.
Maybe.
Like she said in the show,
Yeah.
show me how to punch. But I have been leaning more that she'll join the revolutionaries.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't know either. Like, it's kind of back and forth. We were talking about it last chapter, but speaking of people that she could go with, Vegapunk very much down, and he said this chapter that he's probably gonna die if he moves. And you know, by the end of it, after Sanji had that crazy feat, and it looks like Sanji and Luffy versus Kizaru now, and like they're protecting. Oh, Kizaru and I guess Saturn is gonna be here, but
Saturn even a threat anymore?
I,
No, I'm kidding. It definitely has to be, right?
And then Vegapunk's down in the back, so Vegapunk said he was gonna die. But
yeah, I mean, we said this last chapter, it doesn't look like all the Vegapunks are making it. I think only Lilith is. Even more like she's just like talking with Brook and getting along with the crew again,
right,
like,
you know what's
RIP Vegapunks.
So we'll go sequentially here, but I have some questions that I'll loop back to. So after that, obviously, is like Saturn is down on the ground, crumbled, and getting back up, and dude, Saturn's not looking too good. But we finally see Katarina Devon and surprisingly Van Augur. I didn't expect to see Van Augur.
I didn't expect Van Augur. It makes sense when you think about it because he can like teleport them, so he can get in, get out. Because clearly they're not there for a lot. Like we saw Katarina Devon, she just touched Saturn. Is like, all right, we're done here. Which makes me think her powers are basically like Bon Clay's. She just has to touch them. Well, and then like she can transform into them.
Right. But like, does that also? So one thing that she said this chapter, which was interesting, was like, my, look at what delicious power you have. Like, and didn't she say like it would come in handy or whatever? I'm thinking something like that. Can she steal powers?
That's what I'm thinking. Well, not maybe steal, but
like use.
I think she can use them because she could transform into the people, and it's like Bon Clay's, but like plus, right? Because she's a mythical Zoan, the nine-tailed fox fruit. So I think when she transforms into them, she can use their powers, which is kind of an insane devil fruit. It's literally just I have every devil fruit basically.
Dude, that's so nuts. Yeah, like I wonder what they're gonna do now, because so this was their mission coming to Egghead, right? So like we all thought maybe they were gonna go after a snake, maybe they were gonna go after like Robin or something like that,
or even York or something.
I guess they knew that Saturn was here already. I guess word got out, the news, because they mentioned the news again with Oimo and Kashi and
but it's crazy to me that Big News Morgans knew Saturn was gonna be here. Like I don't think
he probably heard that Saturn was there, right? That Saturn was pulling up.
Saturn didn't invade until the next morning, because the whole thing with them like the murder mystery plot was at night, and then the next morning is when.
So do you think there's something deeper going on there? Like, do you think that Big News has like an informant on the inside or something?
Maybe. I mean, he probably does. Like, knowing how big of scoops he keeps getting. Like, we saw like them try to. You think Kizaru and Morgan?
No, bro, no. Kizaru is trying to kill Bonney like multiple times. I think Kizaru's kind of washed at this point. Like, I don't expect him to be doing any like secret good guy stuff. He probably just will flip at some point, but we'll see about that.
It's just a matter of when, I guess.
Yeah,
we'll see. But one of the other things that Katarina Devon says in this is how Teach is special, because Saturn's like, I'm surprised you're even like following someone else.
Yeah.
And she's like, this guy though, he's built different because of his lineage, which I think basically confirms.
You're talking about the D though, no?
Well, I think it was in reference to Rock's D Zabek, because there's a lot of other Ds she could have followed. But maybe it is because of that also.
Yeah, so now that puts into question, because if it's lineage, like that's one thing. Like it could be just the fact that they know that the D is like something that you have to follow or whatever. Like that's the those are the ones that weave history or like whatever it is that's special about people that have the letter D in their name. Or she could be talking about like Blackbeard's parents. So like Zebek, yeah, is totally on the table. It'd be a nice
That's
way
what
to,
I
like,
think. I think it's more
it.
into Zebek. I mean, Rux was also a D, so they kind of tie into each other. But I don't think necessarily like Katarina Devon would care about the will of D as much as like, hey, I know about this strong, famous pirate Roxy Zebek and what he was trying to accomplish,
Right.
and I want to follow his lineage. But this chapter just like leaves us with more questions than we started with.
It does. I mean, I also okay. So we gotta talk about the Blackbeard Pirates a little bit more because they were like a big focal point of this. So like, what is their plan going to be going forward? Like, why was their mission to like, what, you know, once they heard about Saturn, she got, you know, she's going to be able to like turn into Saturn essentially now. So like, what are they going to do with that? Are they going to infiltrate Mary Joie and like try to get to Emu himself somehow by Katarina Devon looking like this guy Saturn? Crazy. Like that's what I think. Because like, do we think Saturn's dying here, and do we think that that's getting reported? I don't know, like probably, right? I mean, they're leaving.
We also know that Teach was trying to become a celestial dragon too. So maybe
he was trying to become a king. He was trying to become a king, right?
Well, I think he was trying to become a king so he could be a celestial dragon. I could be wrong, but he wants some type of royalty so he could control the world. Like Van Ogre said, also like they're going after the world. So maybe that's their plan, is to like sneak in and see Emu. But I don't know if Blackbeard knows about Emu. I mean, he might. He knows a lot about history and a lot about things he shouldn't. But I feel like Emu is one of those like really well kept secrets.
Yeah, but he's probably trying to get to the top somehow. I don't know. Like they have Shiryu.
I think he thinks this guy is the top though. Then, right?
Maybe. I don't know. I think there's a larger plan at play, because like the plan was just to touch the guy, right? Not even to like I don't know. I feel like they're gonna use his face for something. They might just like let this play out. Like that's what the Blackbeard Pirates do. They kind of.
I mean, that's true also, and like I don't know if they're necessarily invading with it, because if they're just letting this play out, I feel like they think there's a possibility Saturn could still win, right? Like if they're not killing him himself or themselves, then.
But it's like the Bon play like kind of thing that they could do with this, right? Like they could take over a country just by or more than a country just by looking like Saturn. Like that's what happened in Wano. That's what happened in Alabasta almost, right? So like this could just be a larger scale of that, where like even if Saturn's alive at the end of this, Katarina Devon can come in and just like fuck shit up by like looking like a different person. So and then that way that, you know, Blackbeard can get to the top that way. But we got to talk about the end of the chapter too. I wanted to get to that.
Of course. I'm gonna bring up my boy Caribou. I've been talking about him for weeks.
We have, yeah, no, you have. You've been bringing
I will say though, well, this was a theory for a while. After he said, "I know who to give this information to," a lot of people thought Blackbeard, and that seems even more true now.
Yeah,
I'm a little sad it's not the crocodile one, but I think what this brings into question too is what I've been saying about Caribou is that he brought Luffy the food, but maybe he did, and that's why he's out here. But maybe he also didn't, because he was like in hiding or something. Maybe
that's what I was gonna say too.
So I had another theory about it then, because if the giants were able to hear about the news and then come to the island, what if the reason we don't see people giving Luffy food and taking him away is because it's the Tentatas and they're too small for people to see? Like we saw that in Dressrosa. Like, you never know. We don't know where the Tentatas are.
I don't think so, man. Like that's
like we knew a month ago they were at Mary Joie, but that's over. They could be anywhere.
But not all the Tentata, just Leo and like a couple of them, and that was just
even more of a reason why they could be here.
Because I think if Leo's gonna show up, it would be with the whole Grand Fleet, not just Leo.
That's probably true also.
So like, and I really don't think that the Grand Fleet is pulling up here, because like we already have so much. Like it's already going so wrong for the government at this point. Like I was surprised that the Blackbeard Pirates were gonna fuck shit up even more here. They just kind of warped out. This was
just an infiltration mission.
Yeah, they just kind of.
And now they're walking out with also ancient weapon news. Like they're gonna know about 2 ancient weapons now. and that's pretty crazy.
But they are still on the island, so you know.
Yeah, but they can warp out. I'm not really worried about them getting off the island, tbh. But I also wonder if that maybe they're gonna go after Shirahoshi now, right? Like if they know she's an ancient weapon, she's probably the easiest one to get to. It's probably easier than going to Wano.
Do they know that?
I mean, because Caribou knows that, and Caribou has news that he wants to tell them.
Yeah, true.
Caribou knows about that, and like that Wano has Pluton.
So do you think they would go to Wano first or Fishman Island?
Maybe because it's closer. Maybe they try to invade, and we see like Yamato and Momonosuke try to hold them off and get cooked.
I don't know if they're gonna be able to hold off the whole Blackbeard gang.
I don't think,
especially if Aokiji pulls up. Hell no.
But let's be real, they can't. They're getting cooked.
Yeah.
So I wonder if then that's kind of what leads into the final arc is Blackbeard's going back and trying to take these ancient weapons, and that's what makes Luffy target him, because we saw here when he heard Vivi, or I guess not here, but like a few chapters ago, when he heard Vivi was like hostage, he was like, let's go save her right now.
Right.
So if he hears Wano gets cooked and then Shirahoshi also, like he could just double back and like go fight them. I don't know.
I feel like
this could lead to a lot.
Yeah. So like, man, that makes me think that Vivi is definitely gonna get introduced here. Like, I mean, we all kind of think that she's gonna pop up at some point.
Like still like 100% believer in that.
Yeah. I think Vivi's gonna come and like, dude, that would be a great way to tie in the 3 ancient weapon people. If the Vivi is an ancient weapon thing comes to fruition, which I think it's very likely at this point that she's like very important somehow. Maybe she's not an ancient weapon, but you know, all these princess type characters that the Straw Hats have like throughout the story saved and been a part of like their whole thing, the Blackbeard Pirates, if they start targeting those people, then like, you know, it'd be interesting for it to go backwards and be like they target Momonosuke, then they target Shirahoshi, and then they go after Vivi.
It's kind of like the reverse of like Roger's story, where Luffy is mimicking Roger's story, but now Blackbeard's doing that in reverse. And I wonder that's how Zebek was at a point too, where he was like taking out a lot of Roger's like subordinates or like allies.
Yeah, it's a little nice inversion. I kind of like that theory, but you know, it's just a theory, so we'll see what happens.
A One Piece theory. But yeah, overall, like this chapter is just so jam-packed, and it leaves me with so many more questions than answers. But I'm rooting for my boy Zoro next chapter. I think he's still gonna make it out. Like I said,
he needs to do.
He's not even using his third sword yet. He's not. He's handicapping.
Yeah, I don't want to hear no Zoro slander yet. You know, well, you can gas up Sanji all you want. Sanji was very problematic in this chapter, but you know, I'm not gonna get into all that. So
Sanji was acting up. He has some allegations to fight after Kizaru.
I think he's on thin ice, that one, but we'll see how all these fights play out. We'll see how we go in next to the story. I don't know what the next thing is gonna be. Probably just a continuation of this, to be honest. I don't know if we're gonna get any more bomb drops.
I don't think we're getting any more of the Blackbeard Pirates, honestly. I think we're seeing this, they're teleporting out, and that's that. Yeah. But I think we're gonna see just more of them fighting, like Sanji fighting and Luffy fighting and Zoro fighting.
Yeah, we gotta get into the 1v1s finally. But
yeah, you know what my favorite part of the chapter though is? No break next week.
Let's go. No break next week.
We're living it.
Yes, we love it. So we'll see you guys back again next week. Till then, go check out our other videos. We put out some bangers recently. We got a top 30 up. That
we got a versus battle too. Yeah, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
Brand new versus battle. Like, comment, subscribe, and fight us in the comments.
Fight us in the comments. Peace.